Let me start with something that confuses a lot of intelligent people. They say, I know why I react this way, so why am I still doing it? And the honest answer is because insight doesn't operate the nervous system. Most personal growth stops at explanation, but behavior is controlled somewhere else totally. And one needs to understand where that comes from. Now, why insight feels powerful but it fails? Insight activates the thinking brain. We all know that. But patterns live in the survival brain. Now, when pressure shows up in real life, in scenario, time and time development, again, the body chooses speed over correctness because that choice is not conscious, it's learned through time and time again, through all the life experiences and what and how we have developed ourselves to react and to survive in that particular scenario in life. If a response once created safety, even emotional safety, the system will reuse it. That's why repetition doesn't mean failure, it means efficiency. Now, why high performers get stuck in this loop? High performers rely heavily on cognition, planning, analyzing, pushing it further, going harder, and trying to take one step further. Now, that works until stress increases. At that point, the system stops optimizing and starts protecting. Once this stress leaks in, that is where the optimization starts and the protection coverage starts taking place. Now, this is where overthinking, control avoidance, or emotional shutdowns appear. Not because something is wrong, but because the system is doing its job. It's biology. That is how our brain is designed, that is how our emotional zone is designed. And our internal work is just doing its work there. Now, what actually creates a change is what we should look into. Change happens when the nervous system learns something new. This moment is safe enough to respond differently. That learning doesn't come from affirmation, it comes from regulation. How much of a affirmation you'll do, it won't change anything until and unless you have a regulation set in place. And by regulation, I mean a safe, calm zone. Now, everyone has to understand this in much more depth. When I say a safe, calm zone and space, a place, it's not something which I'm only talking about externally. I'm talking much more about and hinting it towards the internal sector as well. Inside you. Are you feeling safe inside your body in that situation? Are you feeling safe emotionally? Are you feeling targeted? Are you feeling triggered? So these all emotions is what governs and makes the brain think in a manner, am I safe right now? This is how I should respond. This is how I respond earlier when I was stuck in this spot. I have to do this again. So if for example during a fight, if you got triggered on a particular note and your instantaneous response over 2-3 course of time was to lash out on someone, your brain will make sure that you do it for the next time as well. That's why regulation is very important. Because awareness will make you look at, okay, I lash out at this thing. But regulation and direction will help you fix that. And like I said, that won't come from affirmation, it has to come from regulation. Breathe, pace, presence, interruption. Once safety is restored, choice becomes available. Until then, your automated response is your only choice, which is lashing out on that particular example, and we don't want that. And behavior changes naturally comes out without a force, because even when you're forcing and trying to control it, initially you can work it out. Initially you are motivated, you are okay to do it, and you have that willpower. But we all know that if we rely on those factors, they last for a particular time only, and then you're back to the same old pattern. Plus, there is another issue of, is this really me? When you force yourself inside a situation, or forcefully you change your behavior patterns, then you start detaching from yourself too, and that is not what we want. So, if you've been hard on yourself for repeating patterns, this is your reminder. You don't need more insight, you need a system reset. That's where real change begins. If this resonated, you can join me in the live session where I break this down practically. Link is in the description.